Hey, what's up guys? I'm Adrian Ramirez. Hope you guys are having a great day. Before I start, help me out by smashing the like button and subscribe. Today I'm going to share with you guys a very interesting story that I found on Facebook. At first I thought the story was just clickbait or fake news, but I saw the story again on my news feed later on during the day. This time it was from a believable source though, so I clicked on it. The title of the story says, "Man says Florida villa he bought at government auction turned out to be a foot wide piece of land." Before I read the story, I really felt bad for the investors who bought this land. He thought it was going to be a big property, and it turned out to be only a foot wide piece of land that doesn't have any sort of value at all. If you don't know what a villa can be very similar to a house in that it can closely resemble a standard single family home, but villas are also known for being luxurious, larger homes with their own gardens, vineyards or courtyards, hotel-like services, and water fixtures like pools and fountains. At a Broward County auction of tax default properties, Kerwin Honus bid $9,100 for what he thought was a $177,000 villa. But the investor wasn't buying the villa. It turns out that he bought a 1 foot by 100 foot strip of land that separates two villas in Tamarack, and it is only worth $50. According to the Sun Sentinel, Broward County sold the land to Kerwin Honus at an online auction of tax delinquent properties in March. The land, which holds two mailboxes, starts at the curb and actually goes under a wall separating the garages of two adjoining villas and then extends out to the back. Honus believes he was scammed by the Florida county that put the property up for auction for unpaid property taxes. Honus said the following, "If I'm vindictive enough, I can cut right through the garage wall and the home to get to my airspace. But what use would that be to me? It's deception." He demanded the county to void the deal and return his money. Unfortunately for him, county officials say state law does not allow for refunds. According to Honus, he submitted his bid based on the property appraiser photos showing the villa as being the land. The appraiser's website and the information on the county's tax site show no villa or building value. Officials don't know why the developer never attached the strip to either one of the adjoining properties. The developer defaulted on the property taxes after dissolving. It is important to mention that it was the first time the South Florida man Kerwin Honus bidded at an auction. Officials pretty much say that there's not much he can do about it. It's very sad that this investment went really bad for him. One of the actual owners of one of the villa is called Tina Defoe. She bought the villa in April after the auction. She said the following, "It makes no sense. I don't know how you buy a strip of grass like that. If we have to move our mailbox, we will." Tina said she would check with the title insurance company to see why the issue wasn't flagged, but she said she wouldn't pay any money to Honus. Richard Sherman, Deputy General Counsel for Appraiser's Office, said tiny parcels like the one Honus bought are uncommon, but they do happen. State law requires the Appraiser's Office to put a value on every property, he said. Honus could try and work out a deal with one of the villa owners to take ownership of the property, but it's not likely he would recoup everything he spent. Any chance of collecting any type of rent or fee from the current villa owners could be heard if no such payments were required by the previous owner as well. Something to learn from this is that taking part in a county tax deed auction is very risky. The county put a new warning Thursday on top of the online auction site, telling investors to do their research and that tax deed sales are not for the uninformed. The county doesn't guarantee any of the properties, which are sold as is. While the notice is new, tax officials say the same information was already being displayed in 6 other places on the site. During the auction, Honus beat Antoine Rutherford by $100. But Rutherford eventually ended up buying something else he didn't want either. Rutherford paid $6,100 for a vacant Launder Hill parcel that he saw as having development potential. But the land he bought was for one of 30 condo units that used to be on the property. The building was demolished after a fire 9 years ago. He could potentially see some return someday if the association ever sells the property, but he has no control over that. Rutherford said he will not be bidding in the auction anymore. He said the following, "If I do it, I'll have to go to the place and analyze it myself." It's important to mention that it was Rutherford's first time bidding in the auction, just like Honus. The message from county officials and real estate experts is that the auction participants need to do their homework and make sure they've checked for all possible problems a property might have. In the Facebook post, people were commenting their opinions about the situation. Roberto says, "I remember the first time using eBay. I bought an iPod Shuffle thinking it was a great deal since it was $30 off MSRP. When I got it, it turns out it was just a USB stick. So I kinda know how this guy feels." Suzanne says, "It seems to me, although the buyer needs to do their research, that this was put up for auction and someone was hoping that it would play out just the way it did. It probably happens more times than we know." Belinda says, "I would charge rent to the units until I recouped my money. The situation could get really ugly. I would love to see the case with all owners on Judge Judy." Rosa says, "New owner of lawn strip to tenants. Get your mailboxes off my lawn." Rosa posted a funny picture of a very slim building. Richard says, "He should charge rent to the 2 adjoining villas for having their mailboxes on his property." Anyways, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know what you think about Honus accidentally buying a tiny piece of land and what he should do about it. See you guys. Bye.